Love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Hey, everybody, this is Gino Savi, and this ain't the show. Damn it. We're going to do the Takedown Breakdown. This is going to be the first episode of the Takedown Breakdown, a little bit outside of politics and more just on some old good-fashioned comedy. Today, we have a close friend of mine, and you will find out that she is you'll find out for yourself. This is definitely a woman who has a huge career in comedy if she decides to go that way. But I've known her for several years, and with further ado, I go ahead and give the mic to you. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Stephanie, last name Hino.
There we go. All day. And so we were talking before we went live, and I wanted to get a little bit more on that pet peeve that you were talking about, in that you don't really care for people who smack.
Oh, God, no.
What you were telling me that when you hear people smack, it brings something out of you that's probably not Christ-like.
Oh, no, it's not. Actually, thank you for bringing that up. Actually, it's very aggressive. I'm pretty sure it's my fast track to hell, because I have murderous thoughts that come to mind. Usually doesn't take more than, 2 seconds to hear that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good it is. As soon as you, that's one of my top 5 deal breakers. If and when I hear that, I gotta go, you gotta go, we can't be in the same room together. I've actually ended dates early, not to say that I'm, the best thing going, but you gotta know your limits. And the thing that, when that happens, that look that you give, that it's like, you gotta be kidding me, look, something's gotta change. And with that, what we do on This Ain't the Show is we give away the James Evans Award.
Yes, that's the look. That's the look that I have internally. As soon as it could be a family member, a best friend, it could be someone on the bus. As soon as I hear it, I'm like,
So I noted it. So all right. So for me, go ahead. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of some improv. Go ahead and just start off. Just talk to me and start smacking.
Okay. So anyway, Gene, I was waiting at the bus stop, and so I was lost
right
my
there. Right there.
Yes.
I used to be able to be better at disguising that, but as I've gotten older, I can't hide it anymore. Yeah. And then you have to explain to that person what that's all about, hence the James Evans Award. So the individual you were telling me about before the show who did that, who you more or less had to reprimand, what happened there? What was the deal?
Well, lucky for me, he's a little bit on the spectrum. Autism spectrum, and he didn't really have good enough sense to be offended. So I lucked out, that way. Otherwise, and he was like, "Oh, okay," and he left my office. So I lucked out. But otherwise, I have to be pretty creative on how I'm going to get out of the situation. I have faked a stomach ache. I have faked on the cuff diarrhea.
All right. Well, okay. And you because what you told them that, hey, Brennan, I gotta go.
Yeah, the guy that was in my office, I go, hey, I didn't even realize what time it was. I'm so sorry.
Oh gosh!
Like, okay.
Use the cliche catchphrases at the right time. It's oh man. So and so he was eating, for everybody who's watching, this young man was eating salad in a way that infuriated Stephanie so much that she wanted to use the salad and kind of mush it.
Yes.
Mush it in the and I, you know what, sounds extreme, but I think most of us get that. I get it.
Here's the thing. When someone's doing something that aggravates you, whether it's smacking, whether it's breathing through your nose really heavy and you can kind of feel that hot breath.
If you're a smacker, you're a breather.
This is true. And you can kind of feel that and you're like, what the
I had in third grade. Fourth or fifth grade, I had a girl next to me, won't give out her name. I don't know why I remember this, but whenever we'd have reading time, she would read with her nose. Oh. So every word that it would just, and then every once in a while she'd do the whole.
Oh no! Yeah.
And then, so breathers and smackers they're pretty much on the same plane. So look,
I think everybody has little aggressive fantasies. I really do. I think that when someone annoys the crap out of you and it's at a visceral, like it gets right down in your brain and you're like, hey, what's that? It's kind of like an animal that senses danger. They kind of go into that fight or flight mode. And I think as humans, we go right into fight mode. Like, I got to do something aggressive to get you to stop. Now, I know it's not socially acceptable, so I'm just going to run this fantasy through my head. And if it gets too good to me, I got to get you out of there. You know what I mean? Like the salad bowl. Like I wanted to take a salad bowl and I wanted to half suffocate him, push his head up against the wall, maybe create a little bump, maybe draw a little.
What you're saying is definitely what people do think, but nobody talks about type of thing. And so that's why we do the takedown breakdown here. And with that being said, one of my fantasies with that same type of thing is to offer somebody the opportunity to apologize.
Do tell.
So you have a smacker and you say, hey, what? You all right? Everything okay? Because when you hear someone say, "Is everything okay?" You're like, "Okay, is this a joke or are you about to reprimand me?" And most times it's not a joke. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just eating my salad. That's not all you're doing. That's not all you're doing. Did you know? And you follow up with the did you know? Did you know that when you eat in a way where it's, I don't know, it seems like you're raping your food. I don't even know if that's legal, what you're doing. It's offensive to me. Did you want to go ahead and apologize? Now, I know that sounds very far-fetched to people, but I'm just saying I've thought about it. Have I done it? Nope. I might, but it wouldn't probably accept it. But neither should someone who's smacking. And look, and it's like who says anything to the smackers?
Someone should say something to the smackers, like, "Hey, can you close your mouth when you chew? Can you do?" But the problem is that you're going to always give yourself away that you're really annoyed because you're going to do something. Either it's going to be in the tone, or if you use your hand, you're going to like make it too. You're going to give yourself away. You're going to give yourself away. Right. You're annoyed.
So let's be creative on this one and figure out ways that aren't going to give off how annoyed you are.
Okay.
I'll go first. You go ahead and you do the smacking, and I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, Stephanie.
Yeah.
What do you? And I noticed that you were eating something. What is that?
Oh, it's just a little piece of edible gum. I get to swallow it after I chew it for like 5 minutes. It's great.
Who makes that, by the way?
I don't know. Wrigley, maybe?
Well, either way, it doesn't matter who makes it. What I've been told is that it actually tastes better if you don't, open your mouth. Exactly. And so there it is. And so at that point, you've kind of found a way to kind of, weed around a little bit. But I've seen women are better at that than men as far as being, I guess.
No, you know what it is? We're better at being bitchy. Excuse my French. I don't know if I can say that.
No.
We're better at being slick and real. Here, go ahead and smack.
Okay. Yeah. So I was on set today, and they told me, forget about it. We'll just do the script. Excuse me.
Oh no, Gene.
This is good.
Excuse me, Gene. Hold on a second. You were talking about the script, but I missed that last part because you were kind of chewing a little loud. Go back and tell me what it was. What did you say? I missed it. You see? You see? This is what we do.
If you were in the same room, it would be the pat.
Yes, it would be the. You come, shut your damn mouth, and don't do that anymore.
Let's go ahead and throw down one of these videos and give our commentary on it.
Okay.
Alrighty, here we go.
Thank you for tuning in. Everybody
Oh yeah, it never gets old. So for me, the best part of that wasn't just the kick. It was before that, because she was so happy and proud of what I'm assuming she didn't know what was coming. If you are in that situation and you are the one getting kicked, how do you respond?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what happened to that woman. Let me tell you right now. That was her boyfriend. That was her boyfriend, and they've been together. They've been together for about 9 months. She still got hearts in her eyes, but she knows that there's something a little off with him. He's edgy. He ain't had a real job, and her family is a little, skeptical about him. But he's
baby. You talked about you want to help me out, right? You want to help me out, right?
He's passionate. He grabbed her hands in front of her and he said, "Now listen, I need you to do this for me. Are you gonna do it?"
And she was like,
"Okay, I will." And she stood there. And did you notice her chin went out a little bit? Her chin went out a little bit, like, "I'm ready." It did.
There was an agreement there. There was some type of agreement because, and them being a couple, they probably had some type of like familiar saying they would say to like let each other know, "I love you." It's gonna be like forever and more. And he's like, "He's like, yeah." Slack.
Well, I want to know if you noticed how that foot. Now he was smart. He didn't put a shoe on because he loved him. But foot, now that foot, let's go on and call it a hoof. That hoof cupped the back of her neck. Because he said, at the moment he raised that leg and knew it wasn't going to quite clear her head, he said, "I got to do something to let her know I love her." So
there's no way he was making that. Matter of fact, here, I'm gonna play it again.
Thank you for tuning in. Everybody
apparently they were in like Turkey or Tunisia. I don't know, some damn place.
I don't know, but his foot hugged her neck like, "Baby, I'm sorry. I know we got to talk after it, but I'm sorry."
He did have the right pants on. You saw his pants, right?
I did. Well, I want you to know what got me off the rip was one of my favorite songs from a childhood, which was everybody was kung fu fighting.
That's the music.
And you know, everybody knows that he wasn't a kung fu artist. So the fact that they played it,
She's the only one who fell for that. His friends, who you saw, who probably weren't his friends, they already knew. Like, yeah, Rick. No, he's not really a. You want us to be there though? You want it? Yeah, you can come and you can watch and maybe help me out later. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to do it. Like we know what you're capable of, Rick. And then they just watched the whole. Check this out. Here's how you know that Rick didn't know what he was doing. His friends or his whatever, they didn't flinch at all.
No, because they were hoping he didn't do it because they had put money on it. Before they started, they were like, that fool ain't gonna clear her head. How much you got on it? Stop playing with me. I got.
Thank you for tuning in. Everybody
You guy in the white said, "Give me my pen." That's what he said.
There was no reaction at all. The dudes in the back, that was just Tuesday for them. That's just what they do.
Well, that's
the more you look at something like this, it gets funnier and funnier. So here's the music.
Well, you know what else was funny was how her hair jumped in surprise. When that foot hit her head, her hair said, "Oh my God."
Yeah, it really did.
It did. And his foot.
She got smart.
And it was almost like she was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that you were gonna like hit me in my neck." Like that was a karate. I don't know if you can call it a karate chop, because can you karate?
It was a karate chop with the foot. He did it just the right way with the ridge of his, like he probably couldn't have done it that perfectly, disastrously, again, if he tried.
Right.
And
but is there such thing as a karate chop with a foot? Like, is that a move?
You know, I guess if you want to be cutting edge, you can kick with your hand and chop with your foot.
See, he's on to something. And that's how he sold it. That's how he sold her. He said, "Look, baby, everybody knows this, but don't nobody know this." And he put that foot up and he said, he did that. He said, "You and me about to make some money." She was like, "Okay, then I'll take one for the team."
So here's you know what, the joke's on us, because maybe the whole thing was not an accident at all. It was clearly a test for Rick to, I don't know, whatever, Sally, we'll call her Sally.
We'll call her
and
Sally.
It was like, you know, in A Bronx Tale, how he's like, you got to have him pass the test. You know, they reached over and maybe that was his test. He's like, if she stays with me after I kick her, then, and that's, so that could be what so let's, that Rick, you and Rick were hanging. That was like the second date with you and Rick. All right. And you guys had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick's, "Hey, can you do me a big favor and put this apple on your head for just 1 second? I have to try something." And you know what? You're like, the guy's nice. He smells nice. He's funny. And like, yeah, you're like, this is kind of funny. He's got this humor. You do that. And then he kicks you. What do you do?
Okay. So for me, we're going to run through this. Okay. You asked. So second, third date. And I'm like, you know what? He is so nice. He smells good, everything, just like you said. And he's like, "I want to put this apple right on the top of your head, and I'd like to kick it off." And I'd be like, you know what? He is crazy. He is not. But I'm up for a little adventure. Maybe this is going to lead to something crazy. I'm up for crazy. All right. So we're going to go with the apple. Well, the fact that he has one apple and he's kind of like the guy that brings one rose. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, right.
No, right. From 7-Eleven right next to the blunts. Anyway, so Okay, puts the apple up there. I see the foot coming, and I'm like, what the? And then the camera goes blank. So what do I do when I shake off the stars? I get up and I try to play it off because your hair is like this, your glasses are kind of like this. And I would get up and I'm gonna be honest with you. Now I don't know if Rick is abusive or not. So I don't know if I could take him.
Okay.
I'm just being honest because my inner self, my inner ghetto self is like, I'm about to beat your ass. Like that's the first thing that comes, like, I'm about to pull you down on this floor and I'm about to whomp yo. But because I don't know if he likes to hit women, I can't take that chance.
Do you think you'd feel stupid at all when you looked at the whole thing to where like, well, wait a minute, the guy has karate pants on and he just asked me to put an apple on? Like, why would I not think I'm going to get kicked in the head for no reason?
The fact that I went out with Rick's funky ass in the first place, and that he had those karate pants on lets you know I obviously had some low self-esteem issues. And the fact that I said yes to an apple on my head and he didn't have any socks and shoes on lets you know that I got a problem anyway. And I said, oh, this is adventurous. Okay, get your adventurous, low self-esteem having self on somewhere. You knew what was going to happen.
A lot of life changes, a lot of life choices need to be rethought at that point.
How about, and the fact that he had two of his friends come along?
They didn't flinch. Everybody who's watched this, look at the two guys in the back. Look at the two guys in the background. They don't move at all. It blows my mind.
Thank you for everybody was
Look at how quickly she held that ear, which lets you know that her ear was ringing and stinging at the same time. You should have known as soon as she heard him say, "Hit it, boys," and the song came on.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a setup. This is a setup for a shakedown, and I'm the fool. It was like pin the tail on the donkey, pin the tail on the Sally.
Just a heads up to anybody else. If you walk into a room and you start to hear everybody was kung fu fighting, that's not a song that is going to end up well for you.
No.
It's similar to, and people know about this back in Chicago and in most tough areas.
Yes.
When you hear the catchphrase, "Hey, can I holler at you for a second?" Nothing ever comes good after that. It's almost like, "Hey, don't I know you?" No. Nope.
If I hear, "Hey, can I holler at you for a second?" That either means A, you want to rob me, B, you want to borrow some money, or C, you want to get a fight started. Either way, I'm going to have to respond.
You're not going to see Jim McMahon jumping out giving you $1 million. Nothing ever comes good after that. Just like that song. It's just like that song. Whenever you hear that song, you're probably going to get kicked in the head.
I'm going to take a step back here and tell you that as soon as you hear the intro to the song,
because there is a nice intro. No other song sounds like that.
No, it's unique. It's like an all call to the shits. Okay.
Anybody who's watching this who's I guess 40 and younger, or probably 30, that came out in the 70s, Kung Fu Fighting. And I mean it's a oldie but a goodie, like you like to say.
It's
so I get
the fight started. That's what it is.
What's that?
It's an all call to get the fight started. As soon as I can guarantee you that if you were at a party and as soon as you heard,
right away.
Yeah,
right away.
You're going to see 3 girls of color take their shoes off and pull their hair up. As soon as you hear that first intro, hair goes up, shoes come off, Vaseline on the face. Automatic. As soon as you hear the intro.
So I have heard songs like that, like for real, to where for some reason people start to feel tough. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And they start to do like because I look like kind of joke around but being serious. Honestly, the times I've heard that song come on, what does everybody immediately do?
Crack their knuckles.
Well, and they start to do, oh yeah, kung fu, right? Yeah. And then you have somebody else who wants to be more kung fu-ier. And they're like, wait a minute. Oh, wait, hang on. That looks pretty good. Do you actually know Mark? Well, yeah. I took Taekwondo for 5 minutes. And then it's like,
Right.
oh, really? Like, yeah, I did it. Oh, and then someone else, like, wait, hang on. Bob, he did karate for 7 minutes. And then like it it becomes a real thing. And then everybody's outside with the red cups and the kegger having a sparring match all for some damn song. I
Yeah.
have another special clip that I know you'll enjoy.
Okay.
We'll just go ahead and put this on.
Oh, bless that monkey heart. Oh,
Oh, we've all felt like that monkey at times where you're just minding your own business, sitting on a bucket, and then you just fall over. The music was beautiful, and I just, I don't know, I just look at how peaceful he or she was, just sitting there all flabby and hairy and whatnot, and it's just like, how? Go ahead.
what I noticed is that monkey or orangutan or whatever it was. I'm not good with. I'm not a zoologist.
Orangutan. He's orangutan.
Kind of flickered itself down there, and I'm like, did it kind of kick up a funk and then it passed out, or
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
because we
But
can't hear everything, can we?
no, we just know that there was a movement of the hand, and then there was a contemplation on the monkey's face, and
Uh-huh.
when they said, "That's it, I'm out," and they let it. They literally fell out like that
It's
one.
like, you know what? It's like he got bad news. It's like, hey, orangutan. The orangutan is like, yeah, uh, we just got your new car insurance quote. It's like, yeah, you just went up $100. And he's like, fuck. And then that could have been
That was
part
it.
of what so that does make sense. Maybe he got bad news.
I'm gonna say that the bad news probably was related to banana supply.
So, yeah.
Uh, and
Because look, it didn't even flinch once it fell down. It just stayed there and was at peace with it.
he fell out like that one lady at church every Sunday falls out, and here come the nurse with the sheet. She stays
Yep.
down. She don't get up. She don't
Mm-hmm.
get up for at least 5 minutes until those two women are sitting there fanning her like, and they're thinking, here she go again, falling out.
Yep.
I'm sick of this. In church, they're thinking, I'm sick of this ish. But they in church and they can't say it. That's how that monkey fell out. That monkey fell out on cue. That monkey fell out like somebody told that monkey, hey, man, this is the last time you're going to be allowed to sit on this bucket. This is it.
And actually, when I looked at it again, here's what I got. If you notice, when I gotta give him a better name, when Orville looked right behind his shoulder, it was almost like somebody off screen was like, "Hey, Orville," and he's like, "What? You're hanging off the ledge," and he's like, "Oh shit!" And, and that's when it all made sense to him that he was hanging there.
Yes, yes. I like how Orville is very comfortable in the skin that he's in. Um, You know what? I envy him.
Oh, man, poor Orville.
I envy him because he had no problem just kind of letting it all hang out. His titties, if I could say that, right? Yeah, his titties flopped up and then back.
It's actually one. It's one tit.
Yeah, because it was like a titty tube.
If you look. It's just one tit, one tit. I remember one tit, and then only to overlay on his his money maker. That belly is so big. Like I don't know that. Like I don't know if it's right or wrong just to have certain animals that are just comedy relief, but it's like I don't like. God definitely has a sense of humor because there's no way that orangutan's not supposed to be funny just from looking at it. I mean, heck, I would hang out with orangutan in a second, but I'm just like, I kind of feel bad though if the orangutan, had some type of orangutan like translator, and then because orangutan or people spend so much time with like their pets or their dogs, and like orangutan, and like and they probably think that they're so cool because they're getting all this attention.
Yep.
And they're you smiling but for them to find out that one day, like, wait a minute, you think I look funny? Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, look at you. It's like this whole time I thought you thought that I was cool. It's like you're still cool. You just, come on, Orville, knock it off.
Come on, buddy. And he's like, no, not one. And you find out that he's like highly educated in the orangutan world. Like he's actually got a couple of degrees. Here's the thing, and maybe this might sound a little, I don't know, something ist. Like you have racist, you have sexist. I don't know if this is orangutanist, whatever. But have you noticed that now Orville is not a very fit orangutan? Because his titties are sagging, which tells you there's probably not an Orville. It's probably more of a like a Taisha. I don't know, because it did have titties.
Yeah, we've seen some Orvilles out there. And Orville, if you are watching, I am a personal trainer, and disregard my cool T-shirt that I'm wearing. I'm a serious person. I could probably help you out, even though I'm sure you wouldn't care.
No. Well, the thing is that, and I don't know, don't mean any harm because I can say this with all sincerity. There's a lot of Orvilles out there that aren't orangutans that could sit next to Orville and take their clothes off and they wouldn't have all that hair on them. And they would be like, hey, there's Orville and his cousins. And it doesn't matter what color they are or what race, all within the human race that are shaped up just like Orville.
So I think it's safe to say, I guess to kind of end this on a good note, that we all kind of, in a weird way, we admire the Orvilles out there.
Yeah.
Orville really does not care about anything but nothing. He doesn't care. And we kind of all aspire to get to that point.
Yes.
Some of us are better at it than others. I'm still working on it. Yeah, so that's maybe it's really not a bad thing. It's you laugh around the way. So yeah, you know what? I want to I want to ask you this last question.
Yes.
What do you do differently? If what do you do differently if you are if you're Orville in that regard, and somebody gives you that heads up again, like, hey, Orville, you're kind of, do you even try anymore, or are you going to try to make an effort to avoid the fall?
Well, if I were Orville in that situation, after seeing Orville fall a couple of times, we've watched it a couple of times, and I've put some thought into this. I gotta say, if anything, Orville has inspired me to get a T-shirt that says "No regrets."
Okay.
Yeah, because what Orville is telling me is that it is okay to go to a nudist beach.
Mm-hmm.
Orville is telling me that
shave. Well, I don't shave. You shave?
yeah, he's telling me it's okay to walk around with a one tube titty. It's okay to let your
and that needs to be a viral term, a 1-2 titty, and I can almost guarantee that is I'm sorry, as watered down as rap is, that could actually be a whole hook to a song. They got that 1-2 titty, that 1-2 titty. Unfortunately,
it could be a song. So that and it is okay to have my belly out. Orville, thank you for telling me that you got to be comfortable in the skin that you're in. And Orville also let me know that if you've got a bucket that you like sitting on, bucket, chair, write your name on it. It's yours. That's it. Hey.
That's it. Say no more. We're ending with that. See you next week.